How did you start the initial phase of Guff Guff Pass?
To be honest, the pandemic हुनु भन्ने छुट्टी अगाडि नै हामी 3 जना बसेर हामीले डिसाइड गरिसकेको थियो कि ऋषभ, तेज and myself. We were like, dude, 3 of us, you know, because when 3 of us just sit, like, mic or no mic, we're just laughing all the fucking time. And we came from similar backgrounds and stuff. And then we thought, like, why not? Let's just do a podcast, dude. And we did some trial run on our phone, go mic speaker ma, and Basaudnapurko एउटा rooftop ma basera we were talking stuff and all. And we forgot I was recording on my phone भनेर के. And on my way back stoned, I just found out, oh shit, हामीले त यत्रो आज कुरा गरेको रेकर्ड पो गरिरहेको थियो रहेछ. So I plugged it into the Bluetooth, and on my way back, I was playing back the conversation again, no, gadima. And it was so fucking funny, right? Just off the cuff, atti funny. And as I reached home, I was like, guys, let's just fucking do a podcast, man. Like, that was super funny. We need to come down with a name, this and that, camera, blah, blah, whatever. We had no idea what it takes to do a podcast, no? And then त्यति बेलै मेरो त्यो एउटा मुइथाई फाइट पनि हुनु आँटेको थियो कि LOD मा around that time before the pandemic hit, हैन?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me just focus on this fight first. Let me just win. Let me just whoop this guy's ass first. Because I need to be dialed into fighting, right? I can't be running with podcasts, trying to do training. So I told the guys, let me whoop this guy's ass first. Then off that momentum, let's start a podcast. So the LOD ma त्यो fight side भयो मैले जिते. And the first fucking thing I remember अहिलेसम्म, bro. मेरो साथीहरु सब हेर्नु आएको थियो LOD मा. They were drunk, हैन? And I'm fighting this guy in the middle of LOD, like bang, keep bang, like. Then I won, and I remember I went up to my साथीहरु चाहिँ त्यो बारको छेउमा यत्रो एक लाइनमा 10 जना जस्तो बसिरहेको थियो. अब म खोज्दै ऋषभ र तेजलाई खोज्दै गएँ के म दिमागमा त्यस्तो चल्यो. मलाई ना मेरो ममलाई फोन गर्नु छ ना कसलाई फोन गर्नु छ. First thing I did was look for my friends, yeah. जितेपछि I went up and I said, like, up to adrenaline rush मा हुन्छ नि, I caught both of their heads like this and I said, अब चाहिँ podcast गरौँ त. I swear that's what happened. I don't know if they remember, but I clearly remember.
So wait, this was a professional fight ki, like?
Yeah, pro fight. Yeah, and त्यहाँबाट these guys thought, like, because initially they weren't taking me serious too when I said it. Like this guy says 1,000 things, like, you know. And when on the night I said it like that, then I think they took it seriously. And then we were coming up with names and stuff and all. And त्यति बेला अचानक world shut down. Timing, you know, like world shut down, yeah. And then I was too committed to this, like, podcast गर्ने पर्छ भन्ने भूत चढेको थियो. And then when the whole काठमाडौँमा यहाँ कर्फ्यू चलिरहेको बेलामा I took my car out and acting like I had to go to the hospital, carrying like food को lunch हुन्छ नि, and stuff saying I have to म यहाँ कुनै के यहाँ मुटु हस्पिटलमा लन्च पुऱ्याउन जानुपर्छ भन्दै I went, picked my friends up from each home, came back to my house, stayed there a couple of days, recorded a few episodes. Oh yeah, sorry. So the fourth member, we were looking for the fourth member के खासमा. So we didn't have a technical. Fourth member. हामी 3 जना मात्रै थियो नि त. हामी चौथो मान्छे पनि चाहियो, the technical dude, the camera dude, the mic dude, the editor and stuff, right? Like Hardik bro जस्तो. So मैले ब्याङ्ककमा त्यति बेलै, before I moved to Kathmandu, I had already met a guy named Sanjay. Really talented with what he does with music and these editing camera stuff. So he was the first guy came to my head. He fit the bill perfectly, the team. So 4 of us, we got introduced to each other, and we came up with the name Guff Guff Pass and this and that, and we had no direction where we were going. It was just like 3 school friends just chatting and yeah.
So like how was the commitment built? किनकि अब कोही मान्छेले के गर्छु भन्दाखेरि it's hard to commit to it हैन. Like how did you like किनकि time पनि मिलाउनु पर्यो first of all. You guys have your own lives, right?
The best part was like we had fun with it. So it's easy to do the things that are fun. If it's a torture, if it's laborious, then no one's gonna do it. We know how to keep the podcast a little lighthearted and talk about stuff that no one would want to talk about in Nepal context and have a laugh actually. Get drunk sometimes, get stoned. It's just like guys hanging out. Like there's nothing different. We don't nothing official or too formal, you know. I'm a guest room and before we knew it became a thing. You know? It became a thing literally.
Yeah.
People thought like Guff Guff was on everything, it's a party type.
Yeah.
So we were like that was getting too much also. Like pandemic बिचमा स्टुडियोमा 15-20 जना छ अब गेस्टलाई पनि अप्ठ्यारो हो के हाम्रो साथीभाइहरू कलेक्ट भएर हुन्छ नि. So imagine this is the studio, right? त्यो रुममा 15-20 जना आफ्नै पार्टी भइरहेछ त्यहाँ. You know, so it became like a carnival खालको के. So we were like this is also becoming too much now, right? So we had to cut it down also. Yeah. And yeah, it was fun actually.
Because like मैले सुशान्त दाइको he said like हुन्छ नि म गफ गफ पासमा गएको थिएँ and त्यसपछि everybody
he was here too.
Yeah. Okay. And he told me about your story like कसरी गफ गफ पास थिएन साथ. It was like हुन्छ नि
he said that on air.
No. Off air. Like he's like सबैजना like स्टोन थियो and there's like we had a really good time. It's like vibe different छ हैन. It's like एक साइडमा there's तो बालिरहेछ अनि अर्को साइडमा they're having the conversation भन्दै थियो के. So like at that point I was like, oh okay, this is how you guys roll one.
Yeah, that's a pun. Yeah, that's how we roll literally.
So like to style, was it like so you guys पहिलादेखि नै त्यस्तो so it was just reflected on the show भनौँ न.
I would say so.
Hey.
Yeah, we were individually, three of us were different. We at least एउटा चाहिँ अहिले न्युयोर्कमा छ. So it's just Tej and I right now on camera most of the time. Third guy Rishabh, he just recently started Guff Guff Pass New York भनेर he's just starting his own like हाम्रै च्यानलमा तर त्यसले अमेरिकाबाटै त्यहाँको लोकल गेस्टहरू बोलाएर गर्दैछ हैन. So three of us we are different personalities actually.
So talking about like international stuff, I know. Have you ever thought about like हुन्छ नि inviting international guests on your podcast?
What do you mean?
Like बाहिर हो के outside Nepal के like
yeah. आजको हाम्रो गेस्ट यहाँ पछि I'm going to our Guff Guff Pass studio. हाम्रो आजको guest is a Portuguese lady. You mean like that? Yeah.
Oh. So is it like नेपालमै कि बाहिरबाट? Is it like इन्टरनेटबाट के?
I don't know. यही छ अहिले हो.
यही छ.
Yeah. But इन्टरनेटमा गर्न अल्छी लाग्छ. I'm not a fan of Zoom podcasts and stuff like. Doesn't give you that feeling. It feels like forced. I don't encourage like we just Zoom हेर्न गरिरहनु like no can do.
So like तपाईले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ technical aspect was handled.
Yeah, Sanjay.
Because like for me initial point मा मलाई के पनि थाहा थिएन. I invited Sushant Dai. He was like the tipping point भनौँ न where I was like okay this is how it's done हैन. This is how it's hosted and this is the podcast गर्ने बित्तिकै I got inside. I was like Dai हुन्छ नि I want to like know more. Can I be in your हुन्छ नि podcast को like हुन्छ नि पछाडि behind the scenes भने he's like okay भने के. And this is ठ्याक्क
I'm so sorry I just have to check this urgent message regarding work. Okay.
Sure.
भन्नु न ब्रो सुन्दैछु.
So yeah, so like के भयो भन्दाखेरि त्यो एपिसोड गर्यो हैन.
यही रुममा
हैन I went to his studio as well okay. After my podcast to learn more and त्यसपछि सबै यो इक्विपमेन्ट देखि लिएर आएर सबै फोटो खिचेर हैन. I was like okay and
उसको नाम त यही छ हैन.
अनि उहाँको उज्जवल ब्रो पनि थियो त्यहाँ like so like हुन्छ नि his editor and then I made connections and this is त्यहाँबाट उसकोबाट नि इन्साइट पाएँ. अनि ठ्याक्क त्यति बेला he was like let's call you guys on the 100th episode भन्यो के दाइले ठ्याक्कै. I was like त्यसपछि चाहिँ तपाईँहरूसँग गरायो के. I was like त्यो 2-3 दिन अगाडि हो कि कति दिन अगाडि. I was like let's invite those guys.
I've been on his podcast like twice already. Yeah, and he's been on ours twice already. Two of like solid. It was fun. Sushant broसँग कुरा गर्न मजा आउँछ किनभने he's like one of us and it's not forced conversation.
Yeah, I think the podcast length pani manche like guess area, like if it's a ease podcast, like it's gonna go up till like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, I think we done like 5 hours, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot, bro. Fucking hell. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. Yeah, that was 5 hours. 5 hours is a lot, man. Think about it. That's more than 1/5 of the day.
Yeah.
It's like the fuck.
Yeah, it's like a long
Yeah.
time. And then उहाँसँग पनि it was like 2.5 hours भयो अनि तर पछि फेरि the technical ऊ आयो के difficulties आयो के can record more के because like storage देखि लिएर a lot of stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean trial and error, brother. हामी त झन् 2-3 एपिसोड खिचेछ होइन त्यो टेक्निकल एरर लास्टमा पब्लिस पनि नभइदिएर गेस्टहरू कस्तो रिसाइदियो होला सोच न.
Yeah, it's like I wanted to ask the कस्तो भयो like because I have heard होइन like some podcast को episode are done तर publish भएन. How did you deal with that?
Human error, what do you want me to say? We're not professionals. At least we are trying, man. If you can't appreciate the fact that we are trying, then maybe we're not the right mix. Like if someone really invited me to their podcast, like for example today, no, I'm really published by another some technical difficulty, I'll be more than like happy to say like I can come again if you need me, or else if you don't need me, come again. But I won't be like bitter about it because I know like just looking at the fact that you guys are trying so hard, then genuinely ke bigriyo hola ni ta ab ke garnu sakcha हैन. And thankfully हाम्रो guest जसको त्यस्तो भयो थियो at least they understood that. Oh yeah, so
did you guys try to reshoot the podcast?
Nah,
भएन त्यसपछि
भएन. दुईजनाको top of my head अहिले दुईजनाको त्यस्तो भयो.
So what was the difficulty?
एउटासँग त भाइबै मिलेको थिएन. I was glad त्यो भएन पनि है. लाइक कुनै कस्तो अप्ठ्यारो खालको कुराहरू लाइक दिमागै नमिलेको टाइपको भएको थियो. अर्कोको चाहिँ I was kind of sorry, we were kind of sorry त्यो भएन.
माइकले गर्दा what was the technical difficulty?
होइन माइक लाइक I forget bro, I don't know के भयो त्यो exactly. त्यो सेभ नभएको हो कि त्यो लाइक फर्मेट भएको हो कि something like that. So clean it was like memory card was खाली के. So you're like fuck it, अब that guest had to move to America, so we couldn't do it again even when if we wanted to do it. So you're like okay, like sorry, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? Like
True.
so it's kind of awkward for sure, but at the same time genuinely mistake. Everybody makes mistake, bro. Like what do you want me to say, right?
Yeah.
त्यही ट्रायल एन्ड एररबाटै सिक्छ नि त. सो आजकल घटेको छ नि त त्यो मिस्टेक्सहरू. सो आई मिन लाइक प्लस we don't it's not our life and blood and soul, man. It's just what we do. It's just a hobby. Like it's not like that's not our identity. Like we don't carry it on our sleeves. Like rather I get irritated when people tell me about a man dai तपाईलाई गफ पासमा देखेको नि. Like I'm like okay, like thank you. Like what do you mean to say now? Like you want me to crack a joke, fucker? Like what do you mean to say? दाइले त्यस्तो भनेको हाँसु त. Okay, thank you. What do you want me to say now? Like त्यस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ. So that's not my identity. Especially when someone sees त्यो गफ पासमा हेरेर they come to my gym hoping that I'm a clown there too. I'm like, bro,
It's a gym.
It's like this is my workplace. Don't think like you can take liberties out here, like quoting me what I say in the podcast.
Yeah, because like I think you are a different person when you're with your friends, and you're a different person when you are in something you love. Okay?
Yeah,
Right?
I have to be serious, man.
Yeah.
I try and run the gym with like some form of like iron discipline because the MMA is so chaotic of a sport itself. If the training is not disciplined, then a lot of things can happen. Yeah.